Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your tarot card reading for March 2024. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thanks to everyone for being here. So for these tarot card readings, you are free to watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign. If you're interested in your love energies, you can certainly check out your Venus sign as well to see if that resonates for you too. So let's go ahead and keep it short and sweet this month. Let's go ahead and get right into the reading. Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your March 2024 tarot card reading. So let's get started here with a card from the Animal Spirit deck. Okay, miracles are endless. I love this card because it's just that reminder that things are possible for you. And even if you're sitting here right now in your world and you're looking around at things and you're like, I have no idea how the heck I am ever going to make that happen. I have no idea how this is ever going to be possible for me. Your faith could be wavering a little bit if you're doing that. You could be, it's one thing, like, you can have faith, but then you can also have a lot of doubt as well. But I think right now with Pisces season, the motto for Pisces is I believe. This is a really great time. And not even Pisces, but we also have a couple of planets still left in Aquarius. And the Aquarian motto is I know. So when we have I know and I believe, those are both really, really positive affirmations that things are going to move in the right direction and that you're going to have the right doors open for you somewhat miraculously, right? Because we all know, we've all had those moments of divine intervention, haven't we? We've all had those moments where we're like, I really could not have done that on my own. There was not, there was clearly some other kind of influence kind of tugging at the strings a little bit. And I kind of feel like having that faith, having that belief, having that knowingness is going to be really beneficial for Sagittarius moving forward, because you may be facing a lot of questions right now. How do I get there? How do I make that money? How do I find the love of my life? How do I make this jump in my career? How do I, find the right people to be with? How do I grow? How do I heal? How do I let stuff go, right? There's just a lot of questions, but we're not meant to answer questions in Pisces season. I think this is a time where we really must embrace the big question marks that life has to offer and just allow ourselves to sort of bask in the endless possibility. Okay, let's see what else comes through for Sagittarius with the Moon deck. Work through your fears. This is not a time to try to exert extraordinary amounts of control on things, especially things outside of you. It's one thing to have self-control, right? That's one thing. It's another thing to try to force control onto everything else. And I know Sagittarius can certainly tend to be more impatient, and you kind of really are wanting these changes to happen right away. And Pisces season is the other season ruled by Jupiter, right? Sag and Pisces, these are Jupiter-ruled zodiac signs. And so you probably are feeling this urge or this sense that it's time to expand again. It's time to go beyond your natural boundaries again. It's time to grow again. And yet still, there may be things that are surfacing for you. Now, the sun being in the 4th house in Pisces, there is a lot of private stuff that goes on. This is very much our private world. There's a lot of internal workings that go on here as well. And so this is a chance for you to heal from things that have been long-standing in your life. And it's a chance for those things to be illuminated so you know what they are, so they stop being such a problem, or they stop holding you back, or they stop creating resistance. And sometimes, we do have to confront our fear a little bit, and we have to acknowledge that it's there. And sometimes we even have to find the origin of that fear, because maybe it's not just the fear itself. Maybe it's rooted in something else, right? This is the essence of shadow work stuff here. But when we find that origin, we find that root cause, and we can really, set ourselves free from that, can be a scary thing because it means that changes are going to happen, but it can also be an incredibly liberating thing too, because we know we're no longer going to be caged in by it. So let's see what else comes out for Sagittarius. Queen of Cups reversed, the Hierophant. I'm really liking the Hierophant this month. He's been coming out quite a bit. The reason why I like him is because he's kind of that reminder to just be your authentic, pure, honest to God self, right? This isn't about falsehoods. This is about truth. This is about walking hand in hand with truth and not denying things. And sometimes I think fear is really just what happens when we do deny our divine spirit and we do deny our creative essence, if you will, and we deny certain aspects of us. But this Hierophant is like, just embrace. Now, when I say just embrace everything that we are, I know that there's still a lot of things, every human has an area of improvement that we could benefit from. I'm not saying that we should just arrogantly say, well, this is who I am and this is what we get. What you see is what you get. I feel like that's a very short-sighted mindset. But this is a little bit more, a lot more pure than that. This is not just, oh, you have to accept me for who I am, but more, this really actually is the purity of who I am. And there's always goodness here. And so as you're making decisions about your life, basic life things, right? How do I make more money? How do I find the love of my life? How do I enhance my career? Whatever. As you're making those choices and those decisions, the one thing you absolutely will not compromise on is your sense of worth. Okay? 100%. Now, I look at this Queen of Cups reversed. It kind of goes hand in hand with work with your fears, this card right here, because it feels like there's a doubt. It feels like there's a lack of surety, and it's a very uneasy feeling. But I think we're supposed to be uneasy right now. I really, really do. Pluto coming into Aquarius, and I know that's old news. I know that happened back in January, but you guys, Pluto's going to be here for 20 years, and it's going to take him a couple of years to really start doing his work in Aquarius. He kind of has to acclimate here. So month after month after month, probably through all of 24, all of 25, and maybe even in through 2026, we're going to start seeing more and more and more Aquarian themes in our lives. But we're really feeling that now because, yes, Pluto has just come into Aquarius, and Jupiter is also coming into this conjunction with Uranus, which is related to Aquarius through modern astrology rulership. Okay, so we have a lot of this Uranian energy going on, and Uranus demands change and revolution, and it is uneasy. It is not stable. It is not comfortable. It is not predictable. And I think you inherently, in your gut, you can really feel it. But see, that's why this Hierophant is so important, because this is you rooted in your divine origin. You are anchored in divine spirit. So whatever happens externally, you'll be good just so long as you don't lose sight of this divine, authentic self. Okay, but yeah, on the external, on the higher level, the more superficial level, there are going to be a lot of uncertainties. And I do feel like Sagittarius is kind of letting down their walls a little bit, and you're kind of in a more vulnerable place. But that's good, because that's what's going to allow these miracles to come through to you. Because if you are so walled off and so blocked off to the world, or if you are so afraid, or whatever the case is, you're going to be missing out. You're not even going to see the miracles that come your way, because usually miracles are very small things most of the time. Once in a while we have big ones, we have that big amount of money that comes in and saves our butts, or maybe we win the lottery, or maybe we happen to meet the love of our life as we trip in the grocery store or whatever, right? Once in a while we have the big ones. Most of the time, the miracles are small. And I would hate to see you miss out on the many, many small miracles that are likely trying to come to you simply because you are immediately rejecting things just because they don't look the way you think they're supposed to look. Now is not a time to be judgmental toward the way the universe is communicating with you, okay? And there will be things that come that are for you, and there are things that will come that will not be for you. But when you're rooted in this divine strength, you will know exactly what is for you because it will align with the vision that you have for your life. And you won't be swayed, and you won't be tempted, and you won't be pulled off course, because it's not possible to be pulled off course when you're here in the Hierophant state. Okay, so let's see what comes through with the second row of cards. A lot of self-awareness right now. A lot of self-analysis. I do like the Hermit a lot, and it goes well with the 4th house transit of Pisces because it speaks to paying attention and listening and meditating and visualizing. And you know, we always talk about manifestation. We kind of use that as a blanket term, which means getting what you want, basically. But really, manifestation begins with intentions, and those intentions usually need to align with certain actions. And the Hermit, I think, is the soul seeking that is required to find the right intentions for the right things, so that when we start taking action, we don't feel like we are swimming upstream. Because sometimes we can have certain intentions. Oh, I want to make money. And then, we say, okay, well, how can I make money? And then we find a scheme or a business idea or whatever, and we dive in without even thinking about, is this even what my soul is wanting? And that's when we burn out, and that's when we find kind of an unfulfilling existence, and that's when we get ourselves in situations that we don't want to be in. So I really think Sagittarius is thinking things through to make sure that there is alignment here, because as we move through into Aries season, the sun comes into a sign of exaltation when it makes its way into Aries on the 19th after the equinox. And usually as the sun comes into these equilibrium points, which is 0 Aries and 0 Libra, okay, these are the equilibrium, these are the equinox moments. This is when things need to be balanced, and we need to make decisions according to that balance. And we don't want to be making decisions that are going to throw those scales completely askew. So we want to make sure that we have alignment right now, and that we're not just doing something because we're feeling an impulse. Because the impulse is likely a fear or rooted in some kind of fear. It probably is not going to be rooted in your divine truth. Impulse can be great, but you want to really think about it too. You can feel the impulse, but you don't necessarily have to dive right in right away. Okay, and that's, I think, the struggle when the sun comes into Aries, is we want to just jump on everything so quickly. And I think Sagittarius can get pulled into that, because I think that's a very fiery type of thing to do. Okay, so anyway, we want to really make sure we have that alignment, because I'm looking at the 7 of Coins. This card has been coming out quite a bit for the past few months now. And it really seems to say, like, hey, you've plateaued, and you don't want to be doubling down on things that are never, ever, ever going to pay out more than they've already paid out. And I've been using this example this month, so excuse me if you've watched the other zodiac signs. But really what it is, it's like if you have a salaried position, you could work 8 hours a day or 16 hours a day, and you're going to get paid the same amount. So what's the point of doubling down, right? So that can apply to any area of your life. And usually you know it. When you know it, you know it. Putting more into it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get any more out of it. Your life isn't going to improve because you put more into it. This is a time where we need to move away from those kinds of things. We need to start changing our behavior to accommodate for higher valued things, higher value results. Because let's be honest, manifestation is nothing without actually seeing the results. Manifestation without results is just a dream. And dreaming is good, and dreaming is what Pisces season is all about, but we don't want to just dream. We want to actually experience and actually put our hands on things and actually put the money in our bank and, kiss the person we love, right? We want the reality of those things. And this is, Nine of Coins is like, yeah, you deserve it. You deserve to be at that level, but you're going to have to change and alter certain behaviors to match that. And that's why the Hermit is so important. This is a Virgo card, Virgo is very much related to our daily lives. Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus is 6th house, even more so. I think Sagittarius is going to be experiencing a revolution in your daily life. How does your schedule look? How do your behaviors change? Because if you're just doing the same thing over and over, you will never, ever, ever see a different result ever. You will always be exactly where you are, right? So if you want these miracles, the miracles are endless in so much as your human potential is also endless. Now, I'm not sitting here saying we all have to push ourselves to the death in order to reach our highest potential. I don't necessarily think that's even possible in this world. And there's no need to put pressure on yourself. But I do think Pisces season is about making significant adjustments. Pisces and on to Aries as well. A lot of adjustments need to happen during this time, just like Virgo and Libra seasons, because it's that equinox point. So we need to make the adjustments so things are evening out, okay? But Nine of Coins, you can do anything you set your mind to. You absolutely can. And when you are rooted in this authenticity and this pureness, you're going to start to see more and more success. And I think you will see lots of material success. I really do. So what else, Sagittarius? What else do you need to know here? The Tower. Let me actually move these up just a bit. 1 second. Okay. Two of Coins and Nine of Swords. I'm seeing such stark contrast between just really positive things, but it also feels really hard. And Sagittarius, you might have some things that are weighing quite heavily on your shoulders right now, but those are the very things that are going to have to give. Something has to give right now. Something has to break. Something has to fall apart. This is what Pisces season is about, right? Surrender, letting things go. There's a lot of forgiveness that happens here, a lot of mercy. There's a lot of, release. And that's mostly emotional, but can also be psychological and also physical. There could be physical things that need to be released as well. And that Tower, this is what I mean. Jupiter coming conjunct Uranus, Pluto in Aquarius. These planets are rattling our cage, but they're not doing it to make our lives harder or more miserable. They're doing it to help us improve and grow and to invite this new Pluto in Aquarius era into our lives. Because, the one thing that kind of holds me back a little bit on that statement, meaning I'm not going all in entirely, is that Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn through September, October, and November of this year. So we are going to have kind of this very slow, this has been a really strange ingress into Aquarius. Okay, we haven't seen a Pluto going back and forth 2 different times between signs since I think it was Leo and Virgo, if I remember correctly, in the 50s. So it's been a really long time since we've had this type of an ingress going on. And the release out of Capricorn, I think we need it because we couldn't just shock ourselves and go into the new era right away. I think we have to, we're being paced. The universe is pacing us specifically so we don't entirely lose control over everything, okay? However, as 24 continues, or 2024 continues, we're going to feel more and more of this tower energy. Like our old life is just continually getting deconstructed. It's like instead of building a building brick by brick, you're tearing it down brick by brick. And every fear you confront and everything that you have inside of you that's problematic and hindering you and acting like a big old wall, right? You are taking down that wall brick by brick, one piece at a time. And that can be a lot of work. And there are a lot of decisions that need to be made along the way in terms of, is this who I really want to be? Is this the kind of life I actually really want to have? What do I value now? What's important to me now? What do I see for my future? And what is it that I can't bring with me into these new years? Right? So there are a lot of decisions, and you may feel like you're still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the old world. You probably will for the rest of the year. I think really 2025, that's a clean break from the 2008 to 2024 era, okay? It's a clean break. We're officially never going back into Capricorn again at that point. But right now, consciously deconstructing it can be, it can be hard because, right, 9 of Swords, because maybe you don't know any other way to be. You don't know how else to live your life, and you don't know how else to go about doing things or getting things. But if you have plateaued, as the 7 of Coins suggests, now this is not every area of your life, but there is probably one area where you really could start to blossom. And it could be that very area that ensures higher degrees of success for you. But you might be having rejecting thoughts. I can't do this. It's not who I am. It's not me. It's not the right time. I'm not ready. All those things are 9 of Swords kinds of thoughts. But I think the universe is like, kind of ready or not, it's time. Whether you think you're ready or not, it doesn't matter. It's happening. And it will be very exciting to see as Sun comes into Aries, as we have 5th house activity, as we move into eclipses. I didn't even mention those. We have eclipses on the 25th. The first one is in Libra. It's not the strongest eclipse, I'm not going to lie. The big eclipse for 2024 is on April 8th in Aries, 19 degrees of Aries, which will be conjunct Chiron. And we'll have North Node activity during that time as well. But yet still the first eclipse of the season is the 25th. It's a prenumbral eclipse, 5 degrees of Libra. So we're moving into eclipse season, moving into a new astrological year. Jupiter is coming conjunct Uranus. We have Pluto in Aquarius now. So there's just all these things that are kind of pushing us, and we are going to all feel our own brand of resistance here. Okay, but remember, when you're anchored in that divinity and when you're anchored in that strength, none of this really matters all that much. Your freedom is found in your truth. Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers and see what else comes out. So for those of you who are new, we're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these cards. The comprehensive reading links can be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. So we're going to start by clarifying the Queen of Cups here. 3 of Wands. Prince of Swords. I'm loving that guy this month. And 3 of Cups. Excellent. 6 of Cups. 2 of Cups. I'm really liking the 6 of Cups too. And the 9 of Wands, again, same as this one. With the Magician. 8 of Cups. And a Prince of Wands, which is the Sagittarius card. And then beautiful Ace of Cups, 3 of Swords, Six of Wands. Another Queen of Cups. World card. Nine of Cups. Wishes coming true. Five of Coins. Another Hierophant coming out upright with an Ace of Swords. Four of Cups. I feel like certain decisions are going to be made for you. Temperance. And the Star. Yeah, eclipses have a way of doing that. It's like the universe just says, well, you're taking too long to make a decision, so we're going to do it for you. The Sun and another Nine of Coins. And last but not least, for the Nine of Swords, the Chariot, High Priestess, and Four of Wands. All right, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you again so much, Sagittarius. You know I love you. Have a great month, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.